Tide and Tigers, top 10. Da-na-na. Oh, we can't do that.
Can't do that. I get sued for that noise.
So no segue into that, right? All right, so top 10. This, like I said, we discussed earlier. This is going to be our segue. Segue is the word of the day on episode 23.
We're transitioning.
All right, so this is going to be our top 10. Every week we're going to do it leading up to college football year. There's no other way to start than the SEC quarterbacks. I want to hear your top 10. We'll put it out here on the big board of who you think are the best returning quarterbacks in the SEC. You want me to go first or you want to go first?
Let's just go 10 versus 10. Let's go down the list as number 10 going down to number 1.
All right, so we're looking at actually, I want to go one at a time because I want everybody to see the list.
Okay.
So I'll go first.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to start with number 10, Austin Simmons for Ole Miss. Left-handed, the couple games he did come in for Dart, I thought he showed some good accuracy. I think Kiffin, I'm giving this more towards Kiffin than Austin Simmons. I believe in him. His development of quarterbacks, I got him at number 10.
Gotcha.
Number 9, Gunnar Stockton. I think that his experience from last year, playing in the SEC championship game, getting that experience of a bowl game, I think he's going to make a jump. Not too crazy of a jump. I think that I got him over somebody like a Ty Simpson at Alabama who hasn't really played that much.
Yeah.
Number 8, Jackson Arnold. I think his experience at Oklahoma. I think the receivers at Auburn is why I got Jackson Arnold at number 8. I think you got Coleman, you got all these great players. That's why he could be higher on the list, but
that's why he's higher on my list. We'll see.
But I wasn't too impressed with him at Oklahoma enough to put him higher on the list.
Yeah.
7, Marcel Reed. People would say probably he may not be in the top 10. He had an unbelievable game against Florida. He's had a lot of experience. I think he makes that jump this year for A&M. I think he's my player to watch at quarterback in the SEC that maybe people aren't expecting too many things from.
Okay.
Number 6. This is the Matter kid for Oklahoma. Everybody's talking about how good he is. Some people have him at number 1 on their list. I know he's coming from Washington State. They went 6-6 last year. Yeah. So I'm not buying too much into the hype. Putting him in the top 3 or 4. I'll put him at 6 because I think he is a special talent. This is where things get fishy. Most people will think, Burgin, you're crazy. Arch Manning's my number 5. I don't think Arch has done enough yet to put him over the 4 guys in front of him. Could he be number 1 on this list at some point in the season? Maybe so. But I think he's at 5 because of the experience, and he hasn't gotten that chance because Quinn, drop it to the running back Ewers, throw the small route Ewers, was the starting quarterback for a couple years at Texas. Number 4, DJ Lagway. Lagway, to me, could be a number 1 or number 2 on the list. They didn't lose a game when he started for Florida. He showed a lot of potential. But again, these other 3 guys took over multiple games that I watched, and they single-handedly won the game for them. I don't think Lagway single-handedly won a big-time game for Florida. I think there were some games he struggled. The last bowl game, he threw 2 picks. I know he wasn't fully healthy, but he has potential to be a number 1 or number 2 guy, but he's number 4 on my list.
Yep.
3 is Sellers from South Carolina. This kid's incredible. He could be number 1. What he did in the Clemson game, to me, stood out. I think this kid is going to be very, very special. I think he's going to have a monster year. I don't know what his pro potential is, but like I said, I think he's number 3 on my list. Number 2, Diego.
Diego Pavia.
In his 12th year of playing college football, I don't know if they're going to have the upset of Alabama or some special this year, but I think Diego's going to have a big year, and he's going to be a lot of fun to watch. He's the poor man's Johnny Manziel is what I call him. So I expect a big year, but what he did last year, you can't deny. Number 2. And the number 1 is Nussmeier. I think he's got the most pro potential right now. He's got the most experience. He's had a plethora of wide receivers to throw to.
But he doesn't have them anymore.
Doesn't have them anymore. So I got him at number 1 on my list, but he's got a lot to prove. So those top 4 could really change, but that's my list. Good chance what you got.
I'm going to go, start off my number 10, Austin Simmons.
Okay.
Same as you, but I think he's got big shoes to fill with Jackson Dart being gone.
Okay.
And that offense is going to have to move completely different now.
Okay.
So I think that's why he's at number 10 on my list. He could be off the list.
Okay.
Even.
Gotcha.
Number 9, Diego Pavia.
What, 9?
Because of his team.
Okay.
He doesn't have any great transfers that came in to help him at receiver. I just don't see them, like you said, winning the big Bama game or anything like that. I do see him having a good year, but if he doesn't have the players around to make big plays, he's not going to have those 300-yard passing game touchdown, 300-yard passing games and stuff like that for his stats. So I see him having good completion percentages and all that, and not turning the ball over, but I don't see him being as high on the list.
Okay.
Number 8, Marcel Reed, Texas A&M. I think he's going to just have a decent season. I don't see A&M winning more than 7 games.
Okay, all right.
So I think he'll be their better notes on it, but that's about it. For number 7, John, is it Mateer or Mater?
Yeah, Matterhorn
from Oklahoma. I think with him filling in those shoes that everybody thought Jackson Arnold was going to continue, I think he'll do just fine. And Oklahoma isn't freaking out that they don't have Jackson Arnold, so I see that as a positive sign for him. So I think they'll be just fine with him. Right above him is going to be DJ Lagway.
Okay.
And again, that has to come with, it depends on how he handles certain situations where if he has to be a Cam Newton and win games and prove that he is that quarterback. I think he is, but he's got to prove it. He doesn't have the players around him as much as he did last year, I don't think either.
Well, the thing is with Lagway too is he's running into a situation like Auburn last year, where there's a bunch of young, talented wide receivers that are freshmen.
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to step up and take a Badger and Dyke, these guys that got drafted in the NFL?
Yeah.
That to me is the thing is like, Auburn had the talent, they just didn't have anybody to throw it to them last year.
Yeah.
And those kids did step up. Are the Browns and the Dallas Wilsons, are they going to be that for him as freshmen? So that's a good point.
And they very well could be.
They could be, just like the Auburn guys. But again, you can't project an 18-year-old kid right there.
Exactly. So, like, I see him making game-changing plays.
Yeah.
And, the quarterback sneak, touchdown, stuff like that. But because of the lack of experience on his team around him, he's lower on my list than yours. Gunnar Stockton, Georgia, experience, that's why he's right there.
Yeah.
But I think that experience also showed me that he's not as elite as...
So that surprised me you have Lagway and him reversed, because I think Lagway had more experience than him, and Stockton didn't show too much. But again, Georgia's got so many athletes and recruits, who knows what he's going to have and the players around him too. So.
But I saw how he crumbled a few times under pressure, Stockton did. So that's why I think his maturity is going to be a little bit better this year coming in. He'll do better.
Okay.
Above that, Nussmeier.
Okay.
He's your number 1.
Okay.
But because he lost his star receivers, he has, I think, a sophomore or something that's going to be one of the stars. But I just see him having a more struggling season where he's having to throw a bunch of underneath things. Now, if he does have a good season because of that, high completion percentages and broken tackle yards for receivers and stuff like that, then he's going to obviously move up higher on that list. But I see his team being his hindrance. Now this one's going to be a favoritism pick. I probably could have put him down to number 5, Jackson Arnold, Auburn.
Wow.
But that's because of the players around him. I'm not sold on Jackson.
Yeah.
But in practices, from the clips they put out, him and Deuce Knight both have a really good ball they throw.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see the players around him, Cam Coleman and all them, prove that they just needed a quarterback.
Got you.
So I think that's why he's going to be higher on my list. Then the top 2. Arch Manning at number 2.
You got a lot of faith in Arch. You've been calling for Arch for a long time.
I would say Arch should have been my number 1, but I've heard way too much on the stuff about Norris.
Okay.
Lenore Sellers. All the NFL scout talks about him being he's NFL ready, that they're ready for him. So build-wise, I don't think he's NFL ready.
Man, there were a couple of plays Lenore made last year, especially in Clemson. I'm like, this guy looks like Cam Newton or Vince Young. I mean, it was incredible.
Yes.
So.
And I agree. And he's got some speed under him. So I have him at number 1 for that reason, but I think Arch could have been number 1. I just need to see him play a whole season.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to have better throwing stats than Lenore's, but I think Lenore's is going to be more exciting and electrifying.
Okay. Here's our top 10. We want to do receivers next week. I mean, I know Coleman's going to be number 1.
Let's jump to running backs next week. Let's do that one.
All right, so we'll jump to running backs next week. I figured I was just trying to give you a segue for wide receivers, because Auburn will probably have the top 4 on your list next week.
Oh yeah, we'll have fun.
One thing I will say about the top 10: no Alabama quarterback in the top 10 for maybe the first time in 15 years. Why is Todd Simpson not in your list?
Okay, so let's actually backtrack on that.
Because he's got Ryan Williams.
Have you seen the news on, what's his name that was quarterback last year?
Jim Milroe.
Milroe. Have you seen the news on him at Seattle?
Looked really good,
He's
say.
Apparently the highlight to be the starter for them, possibly.
Wow.
So if that's the case, that's amazing, because he's going to demolish everybody's expectations for what they thought of him. Now, for Ty Simpson, same thing.
Yeah.
Nobody has expectations of him because he hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah.
He's come in and managed games in a 30-point lead.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Besides that, he's going to have to prove he's and AJ McCarron.
Yeah.
Better than a game manager that nobody saw coming.
Yeah.
And that's
well, AJ had Amari. He's got Ryan Williams, so he's got a comfort blanket with a lot of experience.
I mean, yeah, that's a Tyreek Hill. Just if you're in trouble, just throw it.
Yeah.
Ryan will make the play. So
I haven't seen enough. I think and being a Bama guy, that should tell you. But I have not seen enough to put him. And we did see when they benched Milroe, and it didn't look good against South Florida.
No, it did not.
So,
but that also could have just been he wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
With preparation, any coach knows a kid's a little bit better than they were just thrown in the fire.
Sure.
So,
Titan Tigers top 10 running backs next week. We're looking forward to football already.
Let us know your top 10 in the comments.
Yeah, let us know if we missed anybody. There may be somebody. I know the former quarterback of Auburn's in Kentucky. Another crazy thing. Tennessee may have been top 3 or 4 with Nico. They're not even on the list. I don't even know who's going to play quarter. What a change of...
Hey, certain coaches got their standards, and this is the boat it puts them in. So we'll see, but we'll also see that I think Nico screwed himself because he ain't going to make UCLA that much better.
So, well, we hope we made your day better here. Top 10.